everything that they say about fasting is true. How you really can clearly hear God when you're fasting. There's transformation in fasting. And Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. I am a Christian woman on a journey of renewed faith and just ready to do my part for the kingdom and sharing the gospel. If you are somebody who is in a similar space, on a similar journey where you are finding your way back to God, then I hope that you will consider subscribing and sticking around so that we can go through this journey together. So today I just want to talk about my first spiritual fast. I am in the midst of doing a 21-day fast. And right now I am on day 13, so I'm almost done. I'll be done next Sunday. And it's been such an interesting experience. It's been such an eye-opening experience. Y'all, everything that they say about fasting is true. How you really can clearly hear God when you're fasting, and there's transformation in fasting. And I think, of course, like you understand why people do certain things, but now, being about halfway through my first fast, I now really understand why people always say fast about this, fast about that, because the answers do come from fasting. They come when you are being intentional about taking your time with God, for God. I know you might be thinking, girl, for your first fast, you jumped into 21 days, not one day, not 2 days, 21 days. And yes, and I only did 21 days because I genuinely felt like that's what I was being called to do. 21 was just like the number that I kept hearing, feeling. So 21 days is what I decided to do. I kept feeling the need to fast. I was feeling it for a little while. I had planned on starting my fast in April, beginning of April, wrote down all the stuff, list of stuff, and then I just did not do it. Mostly because I didn't think I could, honestly. I've done fasting, like intermittent fasting for weight loss, and that got challenging. But I just knew that spiritual fasting was going to be just next level. And I also just don't know that I felt ready to fast spiritually, because I've heard all the people talk about all the things that happen to them as they're fasting. They're clearly able to hear God. They see, they're seeking, they're getting. And even though you might be asking God for some stuff, sometimes you know that you're not ready for it. And I just felt like I wasn't ready for whatever answer that I possibly could be getting. So I resisted a little bit, but then I just felt like when I did start my fast, I felt like it was time. Like God was like, listen, I've been telling you to fast through every single avenue that I could. You've been hearing me. Now it's time to actually do it and to fast. And it's definitely been an interesting experience. It's been a beautiful experience so far. So, when I decided to fast, I was fasting for multiple reasons, for breakthrough in certain areas of my life, as well as fasting for physical healing. So, before my fast, I wrote down a list of things that I was fasting from. I did not do your traditional like fast until 6 p.m., like 6 to 6, whatever different types of like food fast that others have done. My fasting, I fasted from several things. I'm currently fasting from television, from Netflix, from Stars, from all the shows, because I feel like that has been such a huge distraction in my life. Like, y'all, I'm home most days all day, and so I watch TV almost all day. Even when I like leave and go to the gym, if I'm doing cardio, I'm putting on a show and I'm watching TV. And I just felt like it had become such a distraction. And and this is not the first time that I felt God telling me, like, girl, turn that thing off and stop. And I just had a really hard time doing that. So I'm fasting from television. In terms of food, I chose to fast from different things. So I'm fasting from dairy products, from sugar, from processed foods. So all I'm really eating are fruits, vegetables, meat, and that's it. And I start eating nuts, and that's it. And that is really big for me because I've never been able to fully give up anything like that before. I definitely have a sugar addiction, and I decided to fast from those things because I've had tons of different things going on health wise, and I know that giving up processed food, giving up dairy, giving up sugar can make a huge, huge difference in my health and controlling some of the symptoms that I've been experiencing. But y'all, I just cannot do it. Like when I found out that I would have to give up all those things, I literally, like, I cried. Well, I cry for everything, but I cried because I'm like, how? How will I do this? How am I supposed to give up all the things that I love the most? How? And so part of this fast was also just relying on God for the discipline to be able to go 13 days or 21 days without those things, and not just 21 days, hopefully a lifetime of just being on a healthier pattern. So I decided to give that up. Also, not listening to secular music during this time, not drinking alcohol, just taking care of myself as God can only help me. And part of wanting to do it this way was because I've been seeing this number 21 literally, I can say, for like 6 months now. And recently I've been going through a lot health wise. And as I was praying, I like went back through some different things I wrote in a journal, and it was like clear as day. Like God was like, bruh, like I already told you what you need to do. Everybody already told you what you need to do. You just now have to do it. Now I'm doing it. Along with giving up all those things, fasting from TV, fasting from those foods. I also try to limit my time with social media and just try to be purposeful in how I'm using social media, purposeful in my scrolling and not spending hours and hours scrolling, and also just trying to get back to my life. I feel like I've been struggling lately, y'all, to even do normal day-to-day things. I definitely feel like I've gotten lazy, not lazy, but I've been struggling. And so I wanted to be purposeful just in my days, like not waking up and starting my day at 10 or 11 a.m., but actually taking my time to wake up in the morning to do what I need to do, and not be like at the end of the day, wow, like this day flew by. I had no time to do anything. But really, I did. I was just in bed, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Along with giving up those things, I've been intentional about reading my Bible every single day, praying every single day, journaling, and just making sure that I am making time for God and to talk to God, to hear from God, all of that good stuff. And y'all, it's definitely been an experience. So I can say that right off the bat, I'm talking like day 2 of fasting, God was like, no. I wrote down all the things that I was fasting for, breakthrough in this area and that area. I want this, I want that. And God was like, no. Like, I've been telling you these two things for however long, and you haven't done, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm not moving anything until you do those two things. And I was just like, wow, like really? And the purpose of my fast immediately shifted. Like by day 2, immediately shifted. I already knew, okay, I was thinking that I was praying and doing all of this for healing, but apparently not.
You thought?
And just everything shifted, and I could see why a little bit. I could see why. By day 2, I literally was hearing from God and already having a breakdown. Y'all, I will say like the first week I cried just about every day just because I just felt like every single thing that I was being asked to do, I just didn't think I was ready to do or want to do or willing to do. But as I am learning, I have no choice. I have no say. If you are saying, like, God, take over, God, I am submitting to you, then you literally have no choice in some of these things. And I was sitting here just writing down everything that I felt like God was saying to me. And it was very, very chaotic how I was writing everything down. Y'all, let me read to you. Let me read you what I wrote down. Because I just felt like it was shifting. So, and I was just writing, like, spread the gospel, kingdom work, love, forgive. Oh, that forgive word. I just feel like never ever ending. Spread love, help, use my voice, influence the masses. Then I'm writing down next to it how, because I just felt like all these things were coming to me, but how am I supposed to do them? To me, I just feel like if you're telling me to do something, where's the blueprint? Where's the, okay, I want you to do this, and this is how I want you to do it, and this is when I want you to do it, and this is how and where, and just all the information. And I just feel like God does not operate that way. He'll be like, do this, and then 3 weeks later, he'll be like, oh, I'm sending this person to help you. Then another 3 weeks, this is happening, that's happening. And you really just have to learn to be patient and to just not rely on your own self. And I struggle with that so much because once you tell me to do something, I want to know. Because, I want to do it. I want to obey immediately. And how I'm supposed to do that if I don't know what's next? And so I was just like writing down, like, how. And as I was writing stuff down, I just felt like more and more things were coming to me. Like, whatever it is that God wants me to do, He wants me to do it alone. Which was very surprising to me because I definitely felt like this was my collaboration. This is why I kept calling it collaboration season, where I was collaborating with other people. I was leaning on other people to do different things, especially the things that I just felt like God was telling me to do that were completely out of my comfort zone. But I feel like He was definitely clear on the do it alone part. Not hiding behind any names, any cute things, but just me being me. And I was just writing down the stuff. One thing I just felt like God kept telling me to do was, you need to be sharing the gospel. You need to be sharing the gospel. Hence this channel. And at that time I was extremely reluctant to it. Like, y'all, extremely, extremely reluctant. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And the funny thing is, I have a YouTube channel for my business, but I really wanted to do just like a fun YouTube channel, or like, just like a behind the scenes of my business type of channel. Just something very low key, very, yeah, just very low key, low pressure. But God was like, no, you need to be spreading the gospel, and this is how you need to do it. And to me, I just felt like, why? Especially because out of all the social media platforms that I've been using for my business, I just feel like YouTube, I've been the least successful on YouTube, and I know the least about YouTube. And y'all, editing just takes so long for YouTube. And I'm just like, is this really what you want? Turns out it's yes. Unless I completely misunderstood, then I don't know. But I feel like I didn't. Yeah, I just felt like God kept calling me to share my story, to share my testimony, to share my walk. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll start after the 21 days is over. But again, I just feel like every day I was hearing, like, okay, you need to do it, and you need to do it right now. Not in 21 days, not in 20 days, not in 2 months or 3 months, because He knows how I do. But do it immediately. And this is what I've been striving to do. So, with this being my first fast, it's been going okay. I feel emotional at times, and I definitely feel like I've been wanting to just go back to my old ways of relying on food, of overeating, of doing this, or doing that. Um, be wanting to turn on that TV, but I also know that what's coming and the reason why I'm doing this is greater and better than 45 minutes of entertainment, or, just the instant gratification of eating something sweet or eating something that I know is not going to be good for me. I feel amazing physically. I'm trying to not have that be the focus of, oh, I'm going to continue because I feel good physically. But no, I'm going to continue because I'm also doing this to get closer to God. I'm also doing this to be able to hear from God. And that's the purpose. I'm trusting God to help me be disciplined. I'm trusting God to show me all of these things. And that's the reason why I'm going to continue to do this, because I said I was going to, and not because I'm experiencing this or that with, like, physically. It got a little bit hard because y'all, just the timing of this was not the greatest in terms of like events happening. And I definitely felt overwhelmed at first, like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna miss out on this, or I can't do this because I'm fasting. And so that's been a little bit of the difficult part of missing out on certain things. And I just knew that there's more to come, but I feel more prepared now. I did break my fast and, you know, ate something that I was not supposed to. And I feel less bad about it now. I think I felt worse in the moment, of course. And it was just like, man, I shouldn't have come. I shouldn't have, been here. I just felt like I wasn't strong enough in the moment. Like I just knew I would be. And I actually had to Google, like, okay, like what happens if you break a spiritual fast? But the answer that I got was, of course, it's not something that you want to intentionally do and constantly be like, oh, I'm fasting, and then not do it to completion. But it was just like God was human. God fasted once, and He understands what it's like, and there's nothing that you can do that God will not forgive you for. And so that helped me feel a little bit better to not beat myself up about it, and just jumped right back on to continue on to my 21 days. I'm definitely glad that I decided to do the fast. I'm glad that I'm sticking to the fast. I'm glad that I've been able to hear from God, and I'm glad that I've been able to feel just all the things that come with fasting, all the things that come with being intentional with your time, waking up every day and having the Bible and the scriptures be the first thing that I'm diving into, actually being intentional about praying, being intentional about journaling, being intentional about waiting to hear from God, writing down what I hear. I would definitely encourage you, if you are going to fast, I would definitely say prepare prepare your heart, prepare your mind, prepare your space. I think that's one of the things that helped me a lot, just like preparing my space, like, okay, like this is what I'm going to be doing, this is where I'm going to be doing it. Clearing out the food that I was not supposed to be eating, also having somebody hold me accountable. I didn't tell a whole bunch of people that I was fasting, but I did try to have somebody hold me accountable, because I felt like that was going to be purposeful for me, and it was. Coming up with a plan, knowing, okay, these are the scriptures that I'm going to read. I'm actually doing a plan from the Bible app, as well as some people suggested reading in Isaiah. So I had a plan on what I was going to be reading, when I was going to be making my intentional time with God, what I was going to be doing during that time. Um, and even just like down to some of the other stuff where it's like I watch TV all the time. I kind of use it as a crutch. Like when I'm working, I need to have the background noise. What can I have as background noise? You know, making my worship playlist, doing all those things, I definitely think set me up to being in a better space of like, I'm fasting and this is why I'm fasting. And now understand finally why people fast and the benefits of fasting. And if you are somebody who has never done a spiritual fast, I hope that this can be your sign to just do it, to make the time to be with God, to hear from God, to talk to God, and to really just like devote yourself. And you do not have to do a 21-day fast like I did. A lot of people do like 3-day fast. They might just fast for one day from like 6 to 6. So, research different things. I can't really say that I researched too much about the 21-day fast, but I will say during the past 13 days, some of the scriptures that I've been reading talks about the different types of fast that are in the Bible, like the Esther fast, Daniel fast. Then I started doing a little bit more research about the different types of fast that people tend to do, and I've been learning more about them. So if you are new to fasting, then I would say check out, look at some research, look at the different types of fast, and see what would be most comfortable for you, or what you think that you could start with to fast. Yeah, I really be forgetting how long-winded I am until I start these videos. I'm nearing the end of my fast. I have another week left, a full week, and I pray that I'm able to continue on and to hear more from God and to obey what I hear and to be open to what I hear and to have an open heart, an open mind, and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch another video. I hope that you were blessed by it, and I hope that you have a great week. I'll see you next time.